Hello again, welcome to the Mystery Steamboat channel. If you're subscribed already, a big thumbs up to you. If you're not, there's a little subscribe button somewhere, there's a little bell for notifications. This is the next part of my Ask Me a Question. If you still want to ask me a question, put something in the comments down below. For those people who I have answered the question today, if you check in the description of the YouTube clip, there will be a link to their particular YouTube channel. So do feel free to check them out and see what they're up to in life and maybe subscribe to their channels. So on with the questions. Right, next question is from Miss Jenny Lee. You've asked, I'd also like to know what made you start your YouTube channel. Well, I think I've already answered this one in either questions and answers part 2 and maybe even part 3, definitely part 3. So do check out that one. So sorry I've already answered that question, but do feel free to ask another question. But I do appreciate you asking me a question. But in a nutshell, mystery, me, Steamboat, Mickey, initials MS, my disability. So that's it in a nutshell there, but it's explained a little bit longer in one of the other 2 videos, so do check them out anyway. But thanks for your question. And we got a similar question again from Living Coast to Coast. How do you come up with your channel name? So it was obviously a popular question, that one. How did I come up with my name? So again, check vlog video part 2, definitely part 3. It's definitely got a bigger explanation as to why I come up with the channel name and why I'm doing the YouTube thing. Really, you know, it's to promote, well, not to promote what I'm recording, but it's nice to see what I'm recording is online for people to see, be it you wonderful people out there around the world or my friends and family can see. But also it sort of gives a little nudge to people who have got a disability to say, well look, you know, I can do it, you give it a go. And if you've not got a disability, it's still a little nudge to say, come on, you give it a go, because it's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to do, to interact with the world and share your life with the world. So it's a good thing. But thanks for your question again anyway. Right, this one's a longer question. This one's from the Gamer's Therapy. It's quite a long one. I keep on doing it with my glasses. I don't know why I do that. I'm sort of short-sighted, so I can see there, but I seem to always have my phone up close to look at it. I don't know why, because it's up close. I don't have to do that to read it. Why do I do that? I don't know. Anyway, buddy, I'm sorry. I thought I had to the end of the week to ask a question. Well, there's not a time limit to ask questions. You can still ask questions. Every time I post one of these little questions and answers, just put a little comment at the bottom and I'll answer a question. I'll keep on answering questions as long as people ask me stuff, really. I'm quite enjoying doing these, really. Hope you're enjoying watching me waffle on. Anyway, let's see. Are you a fan of superheroes? Because in your section video, there's a picture of me with the Captain America shield. Well, the simple answer to that is yes. I love superhero films. If you was to turn the camera around, well not you, if I was to turn the camera around, we've got a DVD rack there. There's a whole top shelf full of Marvel and DC superhero films. Because obviously the better ones in terms of films came out probably from X-Men. I think that was the one that sort of started the Marvel movies off big time. And obviously the X-Men, and then there was Thor. Thor is probably the first Thor. Is probably my favourite Marvel movie until possibly Thor Ragnarok, because the original Thor was the better film, I think, because it just had the first time you see Loki, Thor, and Anthony Hopkins. Love Anthony Hopkins, really good actor. He pops up in Westworld as well. If you haven't seen Westworld, watch Westworld, the TV series. Really cool show. But we've obviously recently seen Thor Ragnarok, and that's a good film. It's funny, and we do like a giggle in films anyway, but for me the person that steals the whole film is Jeff Goldblum. I just love Jeff Goldblum. We see him with my friend years and years and years ago in The Fly. If you've never seen The Fly, watch it. It's a horror film, so if you don't know horror films, you probably don't want to watch it, but there's a particular scene in it where he's all flyed up, for want of a better expression, and he has an arm wrestle with someone, like a big arm wrestle, and because he's got superpowers, because he's a fly, he goes like that and just breaks off this bloke's arm. And we see this at the Odeon, Leicester Square in London, and we went to, I'll probably say the 6 or 7 o'clock showing, but there must have been probably about 20 of us in there, because it was an early showing. Most people go to the cinema by evening, but even with such a small, audience in that auditorium, you could hear the as he broke his arm. But and since then you think of the things that he's been in. He's been in Jurassic Park, great in Jurassic Park 1 and Part 2 he was in, wasn't he? Then he's obviously popped up in the Jurassic World ones, or certainly the newest Jurassic World one, Fallen Kingdom, he popped up in that one. And then, I'm trying to think other films he's been in, but the thing he's been in, which is really good, and if you've watched it, you've seen it, you know what I mean. And don't ask me the title names, I can't remember, but he was in an episode of Friends where he was interacting with Joey, and he was trying to tell Joey how to act, and each little bit was like, he went like that, I do that, they do that, I don't know how, and it just cracks me up every time I see that. So I just love Jeff Goldblum, and surprisingly, shockingly, I've got his autograph as well. Yes, love Jeff Goldblum. So anyway, so the answer to that is, what was the question again? I've gone off at a tangent again. Am I a fan of superhero movies? Yes. Again, it probably goes back to even pre-Marvel, because I'm obviously a child of the 70s. So in the 70s, I can't even think of all the shows that were out. There were lots of cool shows, but one of the standout shows of the 70s was The Incredible Hulk, which had Bill Bixby in it, who sadly died, and Lou Ferrigno, if I pronounced that right, as the Hulk. Met him as well. He has popped up in a few Marvel films as well. I think he popped up in the Incredible Hulk and Hulk movies, I think, as little cameos, playing security guard and something. But it was just like, you watched that, and it was the same, pretty much the same episode every week, just done a little bit different. But you knew that when Bill Bixby's eyes, Bruce Banner's went green, that was it. It's all going to kick off, and it did. Loved that show. The other show I loved in the 70s, well, I loved lots of shows in the 70s, Doctor Who, but the $6 Million Man, great shows in the 70s. If you've not watched 70s shows, you should really see what's around and see if you can find a way to watch them, because there are, just because it's old doesn't mean to say it's not good. A bit like me, really. I'm old, but I'm still good. So that was that bit. And then, if yes to that, who's your favourite superhero and why? Well, again, there's lots of superheroes, but for me, and it kind of was a giveaway with that picture, I do love Captain America. Don't ask me why. Last time we went to America, we popped in Walmart, and I got I don't know what you call them in America, but it's basically like a cardigan, not a cardigan, like a little jumper with a zip on it, and a little hood that comes over the top, and then the hood's got the Captain America eyes slotted out, and it was cheap and cheerful, but I just love that one. I'm always wearing it. Love Captain America. So when we go back this year, I'm hoping there's going to be some more Captain America things that I can buy. Obviously in the parks we have stuff, but we always try to look for stuff that's not always in the parks as well. So we kind of go to Spencer Gifts to see what's in there. Last time we was there, they had some superhero stuff, and that could be because we timed it sort of close to Halloween, and then perhaps add more of that sort of costumey type stuff because it's Halloween. I don't know, we'll see, this year if it's there, but hoping to get some Captain America stuff. I've even got, wait there, as he pulls down, we got this in Disneyland Paris last year. He's got a Captain America cushion, yes! So I've always got my shield to hand to shield me from whoever comes in this house. I've got my shield, not that a cushion's going to do much, but it will shield me. So there we go. Next one is, do you like to play video games? Not sure if you can with the whole MS thing, but it seems like you and I would get along well with games. Well, it's a yes and no. I used to love playing video games. Years back I had these, what was it then? It was a Commodore 64. I'm really showing my age now. The ZX Spectrum, I had that. And then I sort of leapt from the Commodore Amiga, I think it was my last one, where you put in the little floppy disk and that. And then I leapt into the world of Nintendo, and then kind of never looked back, because I love Nintendo, and particularly Mario, which I've got my Mario t-shirt on. Didn't even realise that as I'm answering this question. And then Super Nintendo went to the Wii. I still had my Wii up to literally about 4 or 5 weeks ago, but the reality was it was sitting down there, and I hadn't touched it for about 4 years. Hadn't touched it. So one of my friends was chatting to her, and I said to her, "Do you want it?" She went, "Oh, yeah, how much?" I said, "No, just take it. You know, she's got kids, and it seems it's gone to a good home." So there was a lot of games that we had with it, and we've given the games as well. And it's gone to a good home, and that's what it's all about: finding something you don't necessarily want anymore, but give it someone who might appreciate it. But having said that, I've still kept my Nintendo DS, because that's got obviously Mario Kart. Love Mario Kart. It's got some of the Super Mario games. I can't remember what games I got, but it's probably a golf game. I do love golf games, which is why I kind of like the Wii, because you could swing at it. So do I play games now? No. But having said that, because I've added some YouTube channelers who play games and they video and plan, I do kind of enjoy watching them, because some of the games, I'm obviously getting old, some of those games are just so intricate and complex, and it's like, I think it's what console did I get? I got a console. No, it wasn't. I had the PlayStation 1, or the next PlayStation. The next PlayStation 1. But it's one of those sort of games where you're walking through that roaming environment, and I was playing it, and I started feeling sick. And every time I played it, I started feeling sick, and I thought, it's motion sickness, but how can it be, because I'm sitting down? So I then talked to someone in the shop, and I said, I've got to take this back, can I exchange it? And when I told him, he said, why do you want to exchange it? Well, because I'm feeling sick. And he said, I don't know if you know as gamers out there, that there is a proportion of the human population who can't play that type of game, because it does make them feel sick. Really random, isn't it? Really weird, but yeah. So do I play games? Not really. But do I miss playing games? Yes, I do. And do I love watching people play games? Yes, I do. My wife's still got over there. She's got a PlayStation 3, so occasionally she'll play, and she plays the Lego games, which are quite cool. So I sometimes like watching people play games. Can I play them? Yes, but if it's just literally a little bit not too much thinking. That's why I kind of like the old Super Nintendo Star Fox. You're just flying down that one trench, just hitting that button, shoot, move it a little bit, and sort of my mentality, really, not a lot of thinking. So yeah, let's open it up again. The next part of your question was, oops, it's made it very funny. Oh, you mentioned about Hideo Kojima, probably mispronounced that, about he was inspired by Twin Peaks and David Lynch. Just love David Lynch. Apart from Twin Peaks, I've seen pretty much all of David Lynch's films. If you've not seen them and you like weird films, check out David Lynch films. The most accessible film that he's released is Dune, which has got Carl McClatchan, who was also Agent Cooper in Twin Peaks. That's his probably most accessible film, based on the Frank Herbert sci-fi books. It's obviously a sci-fi film. Sting's in it as well. That's a good film. And the other probably most accessible film of David Lynch is The Elephant Man. It's a black and white film, filmed in black and white. Again, Anthony Hopkins is in it, and John Hurt, who plays John Merritt, the Elephant Man. Stunning performances from both of them, really. Really good film. Check that one out. But then if you think, I want to watch something weird, check out something like Mulholland Drive. Watch that film, straight over my head. Didn't have a clue what's going on, but it's just glued to the telly, and sometimes I like those sort of films that you can watch them again and again and again, and sometimes every time you watch it, you spot something, and you find something in that film that you think, and check out some David Lynch films. Anyway, so going back to that, is there any more questions? Question 5, yes. For people who don't know, what is MS and how long have I had it? Well, as I said probably before, I don't really like talking about my MS. I'm not going to go through a list of all the things that I've got, because there's lots of little things I've got as a result of MS. In a nutshell, what MS is a neurological disease, so it affects all the nerves. And the best way to describe it is how someone described it to me. It's like, say you've got a cable, I'm going to do like a cable, because I haven't got a bit of cable to hand, that goes from, say, a device, like say a fan, and it plugs into a wall. That cable has got, obviously inside it's got like little bits of metal in it, and then round it is bits of plastic to keep it all intact. Well, what happens with MS, in effect, is the plastic breaks, and then the connection in between is exposed, and that's what causes problems. The signal from the brain doesn't get down to where it needs to go. So, you know, in terms of my legs, the signal doesn't get down to my legs. I have trouble walking. It's like I want to move that leg, it doesn't want to move properly. It's hard. So that's kind of what it is. And then I think there's a technical word for it, like something like the myelin, something or other. So there's like a little bit there, a little bit there, and then in the middle there's a connection which is like your nerves. And with MS, if you have MS flare-ups, the little bit in the middle kind of snaps. So then you've got that bit there, nothing in the middle, and the signal can't get from point A to point B, and that's what causes it. So again, I think, from my understanding of it, is everyone who has been diagnosed with MS, the first thing they have is optic neuritis, so it affects your eyes. And when I had that, I basically lost my sight. So literally, I can do it from there to there. I couldn't see anything. That was just nothing, and I can only see from that part of it. Then all of that was just blurry nothingness. In hospital, scary time. I would only been 22 at the time. 22, 92, 22, 90, not 22. So scary thing to lose your sight at 22. Luckily it has come back. Obviously I've had a few other MS relapses since then, luckily not affecting my eyes. But that's it. I'm not going to list all the little things that I've got. You know, if you went on Google, I'm sure there's people who do share their experiences more. I'm not one for doing that. I'm just like, not quite burying my head in the sand, but I just like focus on the positives of everything in general. Positives on what's in my life, positives in the world as a whole. You know, just keep smiling, keep smiling. Dory says, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. I'm not, just keep smiling, just keep smiling. So that's answered that. That's a 5-part question. So you was a bit naughty as well, wasn't you? But at least that's, filled up that. So, end of questions. Well, that's it for today. There will be some more Ask Me a Questions coming up, so do keep an eye out for those. If you still want to ask me a question, say just put a little question at the bottom of the comments box here, and do check out the description for the people who have contributed towards this little particular vlog, and check out their channels. So we'll see you soon.